decided it's Friday night. My daughter's watching a movie I don't want to watch. So I figure, let's come in here and make some stuff. So I've had this sign for a while, okay? Whole 1960s Volkswagen, you know, camper van kind of inspired thing. So we've got this one. We're going to do a thin wreath, nice and skinny. But I found this ribbon that it coordinates with. Isn't that perfect? Look at that. There it is. It's right there. It's so cute. And then to kind of go off that, we're also going to do some, we got little pink daisies is the second ribbon. And then we've got a little blue with some florals on there. And then for like the center of the bow, maybe, maybe not. I do have a thinner yellow, but I'm not sure I'm going to use this. So I'm going to move this all to the side. Oh, and we're going to have these cute florals, just a slight touch of floral in there. These are some smaller buds, so it's not going to take up a lot of bulk because we want this to be a thinner wreath. And then we're going to go with this pink mesh as the background because that plays off of the pink of the bus. So here we go. I'm going to get started. I'm going to put most of this stuff to the side right now, except for the mesh. I'm about to make a mesh. Ugh. Thank you so much everyone who's joining. I hope you guys are doing good tonight. So I'm in Chicago here. Well, okay, I'm not in Chicago. I'm from like the southwestern suburbs of Chicago, but same thing, but not really. And I was all like, ooh, Memorial Day weekend. I was gonna have some fun. Gonna spend some time out on the patio. Well, plans got derailed. That was not a fun day. My pressure washer decided to die, so that kind of curtailed today's plans. And then Mother Nature decided that she was going to unleash a massive rainstorm early, 4 hours earlier than predicted. So I had to bring all that stuff back in underneath our little gazebo. And I was going to do it tonight. I'm like, nah, I'm going to make a wreath instead. I don't want to go out there and get wet. I don't like getting wet. I mean, if I'm swimming, yes, but I don't like working out in the rain because I have glasses and then I can't see a thing. So we're going to make this skinny wreath tonight. Now this didn't have any sticker on it, but this feels kind of like a poly jute. It's a nice bit of a thicker kind of fabric, so I like that. I'm going to cut this straight first of all on the end. I have a rotary cutter. This is my Fiskars. I love this Fiskars cutter because it's got a blade over, a protective thing over the blade, as I tend to cut myself most of the time. So this mesh, you can get something like this at, my go-tos are DecoExchange and Craft Outlet. Sometimes you can find like nice sturdier mesh like this at Hobby Lobby, but they only have a couple patterns of it. So I really recommend if you're going to make a wreath, get the supplies somewhere online because all the other value mesh really frays and you won't be happy with it. And do not do the dollar store mesh. So how we're going to do this is, oh, and if you got any comments, let me know. I would love to know where you guys are, what you're doing tonight. How's it going? I'm trying to keep track of comments over here on the side. So if you see me looking off, that's what I'm doing. So this is 10-inch mesh, so meaning 10 inches tall. I am going to have 12 spots on this wreath where I'm going to attach mesh. So the first thing I want to do is cut 12 pieces of mesh. I'm going to cut each of these pieces at 18 inches long a piece. So I actually, because I've got this cutting mat, I'm pulling it out to 10 inches and then I'm cutting it at 28. So according to my math, and I'm no genius, but 28 minus 10 is 18. So I'm going to cut 12 pieces at 18 inches long a piece. I like to lay them flat once I cut them. So we got 1, 2, 3. Come on. I think I need a sharper blade. Here we go with number 4. There we go. Flatten out, baby. 5, 6, because we're going to have 6 pieces on the bottom and then 6 pieces on the top layer. So there's going to be 2 layers of mesh. So here we go, number 7. 8. Come on, baby. go. Number 9. 10. Number 9. 10. Usually I pre-cut this, but I wasn't planning to go live, so you guys just get to watch all the steps. 10. 11. All right, and our last one, drum roll please, 12. Awesome. Always retract that blade immediately. All right, so I have 12 pieces of this mesh. So now in order to attach this mesh onto the wreath frame, which I'm going to take this off. So when I make the pancake wreaths, most of the time I make them on a metal form. So this is 14 inches wide. Yes, 14 inches wide. I got this for $1.25 at Dollar Tree. Now, yes, it's Dollar Tree. These are okay if you're doing a thin wreath where you don't have a lot of weight on this, because otherwise it'll start to break apart. So if I'm just putting a sign on this and a little bow and leaving it at that, this is perfect. If you're going to put anything heavier on this, I do not recommend using the Dollar Tree wreath frames, because they will snap at the spines, and then you've done all that work and you have using the Dollar Tree wreath frames, because they will snap at the spines, and then you've done all that work and you have to find either some way to fix it, or you got to scrap it, take it all off and stick it on another frame. You don't want to do that. It's a pain in the ass. All right. I'm getting some pipe cleaners. Just grabbing a whole bunch of stack here. These are, they call them chenille stems. It's a pipe cleaner. So what we're going to do here now, I'm going to take this mesh and move it to the side so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Now, sometimes you can buy work wreath frames from places like Craft Outlet and DecoExchange. They have those, but those are thicker. Those are not pancake frames, okay? So that's why I got this little skinny one, but there's nothing to attach it to. So we have to add these. So we got to focus here. You see, these are the spines, and then these are the rings, okay? So there's 4 rings and 6 spines. So we're going to start with the inside. I'm just going to take a pipe cleaner and I wrap it. I come up from the bottom between rings 1 and 2. So I actually between rings 3 and 4 technically. So on the top of ring 2, I put the pipe cleaner, wrap it around. I bring it back down again on the other side of the spine this time, because that keeps it from moving back and forth. Bring it back up, and then I just twist it, okay? So what you have is this. I'm going to go do that all the way around. I'm going to do the inside first. The outside is a little bit different, but this usually goes relatively quickly. And we're not going to snap off the ends of these pipe cleaners until we pretty much have put all of the ribbon on here. So we're going to be working with these pipe cleaners a while, but the good thing about these is you can twist them and then you can untwist them, which we will do, and then twist them back again. It's like a game of Twister, except nobody falls over each other. Yeah. Okay, so I was always paranoid to play Twister because I'm not that flexible, but even when I was younger, I was so afraid of accidentally farting at somebody, to like right on top of somebody else. You know, I was like, no, that's not a game for me, man. You don't ask the lactose intolerant girl to play Twister. No. And now there's no way I could do it. I can't even get off the floor without asking for help, let alone putting my hand here and my foot there. And no. If I were that flexible, maybe I would have gone into a different career in the adult entertainment industry. I'm kidding, no. No. All right, so I wanted to show you what I did. We're doing them on the outside now, so this is an outside one. We're going between the spines, right? Now you got to pull a little bit tighter so it doesn't go sliding back and forth. But this one's on there pretty good. So here we go. I'm going kind of like right on the bottom of ring 3, just wrapping it around, come back around, come off the top, and then just twist them. Nice and tight. And it can bend in a little bit on the frame. It can bend, and that's fine. No problem with that. I did want to give a shout out. I did not create this method. I learned this from Sincerely Creative Mom. She is one of the coaches also inside the DecoExchange coaching group, of which I am a devoted member. I learned so many fantastic skills from all the coaches in that group. I highly recommend, if you are a wreath maker and you haven't already joined, go join. Both they've got business coaching and they've got creative coaching as well. I learned so much from both sides, really. But I love the pancake wreaths because here, that's what Coach Melissa calls them, pancake wreaths. She is the pancake wreath lady. But here in Chicago, most people have storm doors, so when I make the big giant fluffy wreaths, those usually ship out to other parts of the country, mostly not here in Chicago, unless you have like a really nice covered porch. I do not. Wreath maker me has nothing on my front door because my front door is completely exposed. But more so, I'm constantly taking pictures of wreaths on my front door, so I just leave it empty and I just keep putting new ones out there and take my pics. Okay, so we have all of these done. There are 6 on the outside, 6 on the inside. Now, I'm going to teach you the lazy method of making this wreath. Most of the time, people will put the mesh on, like the outside mesh, and then put on the ribbons, and then the inside mesh, and put on the ribbons. I'm lazy. I don't want to do that. I put on a ruffle of mesh, tighten it up, go get my ribbons together, and then I stick that one on, put the ribbons on, and then I move to the next one. So that's how I do it. So I'm going to cut my ribbons now. So this is the cute one. This will end up being our top ribbon. And look at this. This has this fuzzy chenille edge on there. It's so soft. It's like a blanket. I love it. But we're going to use this. And I've had this stuff for the longest time. I'm glad I'm finally actually getting around to making it. You know, sometimes you buy stuff for a project and it just sits there and sits there and you keep looking at it and you're like, I really should make that. Today is that day. I'm trying to also, I wish I could see more comments. I'm trying to look at the comments. They kind of pop up and then they kind of go away. I don't know if there's a way I can better see the comments. But if you've got any comments, let me know. Let me know where you're watching from and what you're up to this weekend. Okay, so I am cutting 12 pieces of this. Now, let me show you this. This is my board from Hot Mesh Mom. I can just wrap the ribbon around it to make my tails very easily, but you can always cut them individually. This is I'm using the 14-inch size. Okay, this top is 13. I cut mine at 14 inches because we're going to dovetail the ribbons and we're going to cut a little bit off the outside edge. So we're going to give it a little haircut. So that's why I like to make them 14 inches. It works well for me. So I need 12 pieces of this. So I'm going to wrap it around this board 12 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I'm going to do 6 and 6. I don't want it to not have a nice crisp edge. Okay, so that's the first 6. I slid it right off of there. I'm going to cut once at the top and once at the bottom. And that will have given me my 6 pieces. Okay? Now I'm going to go cut 6 more. Oops, you know what? Let me get this little. I left a little lip on to hold it onto the board. I'm going to do my other 6. The reason I didn't want to cut all 12 at once, I will do that with this, but this has a chenille edge and it's a little thicker. And I don't want to dull my scissors because they're not the sharpest in the world right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like I should be playing some like Woodstock hippie kind of music to go with this. But copyright issues with music. So just insert some Mamas and the Papas, some Beatles, some, I don't know. I wasn't born till 73, so I wasn't there, but it looked like a really cool decade. So we're the 80s. I'm an 80s girl. Born in the 70s, but really raised in the 80s. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to dovetail this. So I'm going to take I'll take 4 at a time. So what we do when we dovetail is I'm going to line up all of these ribbons nice and straight, okay? All the edges, okay? I'm going to fold this in half. So I'm going to put the wired edges are being folded together, okay? Folding them together. And I'm going to cut from the inside outward. I'm at an angle going out toward the outside. So we're angled. And then that gives you, look at that pretty little, it kind of looks like a really sharp Pac-Man. Waka, 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 waka. But that gives you a very nice finished edge. I'm going to do that on this side as well. And it also ensures that they're all a consistent length, whichever ones you happen to have in your hand when you're cutting it. But that's why I didn't want to cut too many of these at once because it's got the chenille edge. So let me do this. edge. So let me do this. The cutting is not the most fun part of wreath making. Obviously, I don't think that's a big shocker there. But it's necessary. All the prep time. And then the fun happens. Once you start putting it on, you start seeing everything coming together. It looks really, really cool. That, to me, is the most fun. Ugh. Which way is it going? There we go. There we going. All right. I keep trying to see who's on. Sorry, I'm looking for comments. It's just not popping. All right, here we go. Excellent. So, are you guys cooking out this weekend? To me, like, you can't start the summer unless you have a burger on the grill. I have to go to the grocery store tomorrow and get some. I have to be careful, though. I recently started Mounjaro. Not because I'm dying to be skinny, but because if I don't, I could really be dying. Fatty liver, type 2 diabetes, all things I inflicted upon myself. I know that. I don't need hate comments. I get enough from myself. But it's working so far. I feel okay. When I first took it, not so much. Now I feel fine. I'm not hungry like ever, which is great because now I'm making much better food choices. I was not making the best choices, let me tell you. All right, now we're gonna go with our second one. Now this is a pink daisy. This is an RG ribbon, so you can get this at places like Craft Outlet and at DecoExchange. And this is a little bit thinner, but I like that it's got the little zebra print. Now I happen to get this because it's got a price tag on there that says $8.10. Well, this might have come from somewhere else, but I get a lot of my ribbon by going to the Craig Bachman warehouse sale. That is one of the importers that a lot of people buy product from, and they have a warehouse sale in Frankfort, Illinois twice a year when it's open to the public, and I go and basically lose my mind. It's my Christmas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's where I get a lot of supplies. This coming week, now that I've finally assembled it all, I'm going to be posting on my website, sweetariadecor.com. I am making wreath kits for those of you who want to make wreaths. If you're not sure how to match signs and ribbon and all that stuff and mesh, so I'm doing wreath kits, which will come with the mesh and the wreath frame and pipe cleaners. And then I'm also doing just ribbon and sign bundles. So I went and I bought a lot of product. But it was all at a discount, so this allows me to actually be able to pass that on to fellow wreath makers also at a discount, which I think people would like, because who doesn't want to save some money? So that was kind of like, that took over a good portion of my last month. Because I also had to reorganize my entire garage in order to fit it all. So wreath kits are going to be coming. Some of these may even have a tutorial that will show you how to make a wreath. I think most of them are probably going to be these thinner, like a beginner level type wreath. But for those who are more experienced, the ribbon and sign bundles will probably be of more interest. Also, I am going to be doing some really cool, I think mostly Christmas ribbon boxes. So basically kind of like little ribbon collections, including some really nice 4-inch ribbon I got there. 4-inch ribbon intimidates a lot of people. Don't be intimidated by it, because 4-inch ribbon rocks. It really elevates your design. I wouldn't really use 4-inch ribbon on a thin wreath like this, but on a larger wreath, yeah. Hot Mesh Mom, you like your ribbon tail board, huh? I swear, I love this. I put my hands on this more than pretty much anything that I have here. I could not live without this. I used to actually, I cut cardboard whenever, I could not live without this. I cut cardboard when I first kind of started doing this with wreath making. I'm like, maybe I'll just put it on a piece of cardboard, and then it kind of flopped. And then I saw your boards, and let me tell you, life changer. So if you're in, Betty, thanks for joining. I'm gonna stack all this on here. Okay, so you're thinking, how on earth are we gonna get all this mesh and ribbon attached onto this? Okay, so we're gonna take the piece of mesh, okay, and we're gonna lay it. When I say lay it flat, it's going to naturally want to curl. So I'm doing this curl side down, okay? Curl side down. And then I'm just going to think of, you want to make the shape of a bow tie. So I've got it flat here, okay? I'm going to scrunch it up the center. I'm literally scraping my fingernails right up the center. And it helps to kind of keep my eye on one of the lines here on the board. Not that I usually do that, because sometimes I'm just all wonky. But I'm scraping that up, right? I keep it pinched. And you'll notice this looks like a bow tie, a cute little hair bow. So we're going to pull the wreath frame over. Now, I do not undo the pipe cleaner here. It's already twisted once. I'm going to put that right in the twist, okay? So pipe cleaner up on that side, pipe cleaner on this side, okay? And then I'm just going to twist it in there, nice and tight. I'm just going to twist it once because we're going to have to open it up again. So when it's in there, it looks like this. But then we want to take the edges and layer them over each other, okay? Flatten them out. We want it to make a circle, all right? And it makes a nice circle shape. This keeps it thinner but fuller. So this is why Coach Melissa calls it a pancake wreath, okay? That's pretty thin. This should fit between your storm door. So once I've done that, now here's my lazy twist on things, because I'm all about trying to save effort. I'm going to open that back up, and you notice it stays because we've crunched it, and this stuff stays pretty good. I'm going to layer my ribbons now. I'm going to put the pink on the bottom, and our cool little bus on the top, green bus, okay? I'm going to fold it over, and then I'm going to crease it here. I want to be able to see this crease. Flipping it over. Now I'm going to scrunch it up just like I did with the mesh. Then I personally like to kind of bend it down a little bit. I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to lay it right in here, and then I'm going to twist. But now I'm going to keep twisting till I've got about that much, till about an inch, okay? And then I'm going to snip it. I'm going to give it a little vasectomy right there. Oh, it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt. You can handle it. I've had 3 C-sections. You'll be fine. Ooh. Oh, here's your bag of peas. You'll be fine. Sorry. Oh, here we go. When my beloved hubby, who I miss very dearly, when he had his, he scheduled his vasectomy for the day that his parents were arriving in town from out of state. He thought he could just get it done in the morning and be fine in the afternoon. He was not fine. He didn't move much that visit, but it was kind of funny. I'm like, dude, the timing. All right, so we did one. Now we're going to continue to do this all along the outside, okay? So I'm flattening this down. Again, going right up the center, scraping it. I'm using both hands to kind of keep it flat where I'm scraping it, okay? Keep my eyes kind of on the center. Here we go. Plop it on that pipe cleaner. Here we go. I know I tend to do a lot of these pancake wreaths on the TikTok lives. It's because I tend to make a lot for this part of the country, but also it only takes, it's less than an hour. If I stop yapping with my mouth, it'd be a lot faster, but you know, I get a little chatty. All right, here we go. Putting the ribbons on, bend it over. And I will also, at the end of this, once we get the sign on, I will show you how I make my bows. Again, the bow has to be thin enough to be able to fit between the storm door and not look like it's getting smashed against the door, right? We don't want that. All right, here I go. I'm twisting this up. Well, now that we started talking about twisting this up, well, now that we started talking about burgers, guys, now for the first time in a while, I'm actually hungry. Which is funny because I just got back from Red Robin. But I can only eat half my meal, so my stomach empties slower, which I get. But I'm like, but I'm hungry again now. So I might have to reheat that later, but I really want a burger. Here we go. All right, moving around. See, here we go. This is what we've got so far, okay? And that's how thin it is. Oh, here we go. The mesh pieces are, so it's 10-inch mesh and it's cut at 18 inches long, and I cut 12 pieces. So some people might go a little bit longer on theirs, but I like 18, just because I don't want it to end up being too fluffy. We want to keep that a little bit skinnier there. Here we go. Going up the middle, going up the middle. Uh-oh. I wonder if my... Uh-oh. My connection does not look so great. Hold on a second. I'm going to do something real quick. I don't think this will disconnect you, but I'm going to switch over to my cellular and get off my Wi-Fi. Guys, I haven't gotten my acrylic nails redone, and it's been about 6 weeks. And they're still on there, but like I got a lot of outgrowth, so I need to get that done. So I apologize for the state of my nails. That is the only thing I will spend money on, well, that and getting my hair dyed, in terms of beauty stuff. Obviously, I don't do much with this, but the hands, yes. And I have to get my roots touched up. On Wednesday, I'm going to see Lindsay. Uh-oh. Okay, guys, we ended up with the splice in the ribbon, and it's in a very obvious wonky place. I hate when they do that, so I'm going to have to cut another one, which is no big deal. Because if anybody can cut one, it's me. Just ask my daughter. Here we go. All right. So last night, my daughter was in her very first play. She was in a performance of the musical Romeo and Harriet, put on by our local park district. And I mean, I knew she knew the lines. She did the work. She had all the songs memorized, and we practiced, and she was good, right? But last night, she got up there, and I don't know if she saw people out there, and just, but it's like a switch flipped, and instead of just acting it, she was acting it. I mean, she got into it. She was doing she really let herself go loose with it and have fun with it, and it was just amazing to see. I am so proud of her. She's on the spectrum, and she does go to a special school right now that is able to handle her unique emotional needs. And the fact that she got up there and did it, and 3 of her teachers and 2 of her classmates came. So, I mean, it was just amazing. It was so wonderful, so wonderful. I wish her dad had been there. I just wish her dad had been there, but hopefully he saw it. But her comedic timing is hysterical. I was like, I mean, everybody was laughing, and like, in a good way. Hopefully he saw it. But her comedic timing is hysterical. I was like, I mean, everybody was laughing, and like, in a good way, because she was worried people were going to laugh at her if she forgot something, but she did fantastic. We came home with 6 bouquets of flowers, and I have no idea where to put any more of them. They're beautiful. My house smells like a florist's. Just so proud of my kid. After going through what she's gone through, she's a tough cookie. And now I'm letting her watch a horror movie. Not a horror movie, but it's PG-13. She's 11. Close enough. She's watching Megan. And she's been asking to watch this. And I told her, fine, you can watch it, but I'm not watching it with you. I don't watch that stuff. Here we go. All right. Now we've got piece number 4 is on there. I apologize that I had to cut another piece of ribbon, guys. All right. Now we got the next one going on. And the ribbon, again, is cut at 14 inches. So everything that I've cut is in sets of 12. But the ribbon is 14 inches and the mesh is 18 inches. And it is a 14-inch wreath ring. And then standard white pipe cleaners. I don't think, after I get everything on here with the sign and bows, you're not going to really... Sorry. Ooh, Moonjaro burps. Sorry. You're not really going to see... much of that, if any. That's my pet peeve. I don't like seeing any of the pipe cleaners in my wreaths. But that's also why I have some florals. I can put little flowers here and there with a little bit of hot glue. I don't like to use a lot of hot glue, simply because Midwest, weather's a little unpredictable. But I always use Gorilla Glue. Justin, hey, how's it going? I seriously need to know, how were those Dolly Parton donuts? Because, like, I've had some impure thoughts about those donuts the last couple of days because they looked so good. And I'm on a diet, and I'm like, ugh, they looked so good. I need to live through you. Please share the experience with me. Tell me what it was like. All right, here we go. Getting the pipe cleaner out and around. Here we go. I made another thin wreath earlier today, and that one is actually, it's I think it's like a grandpa's workshop, so it had kind of like a tool theme, and that was in like I used this mem. I think it's like a grandpa's workshop, so it had kind of like a tool theme, and that was in like I used this mesh here, black and beige check, so it's kind of got a more masculine feel. But this is a really good jute type mesh that you can get from Hobby Lobby. I managed to snag this on clearance for $2.99, and then I noticed that the other rolls that were there that were not in clearance, they're jacking the price up to I think $12.99, which is a lot. That's why you should order from Craft Outlet and DecoExchange. Sorry, getting that plug in there. There is a link to these places in my bio if you go in my link tree. I've got links to lots of my favorite places, not Craft Outlet, but links to DecoExchange. My mesh roller here, this is from this is Susie's triple stationary mesh roller from Susie's The Wreaths and Things. I also have their glue gun holder, which is amazing. I burn myself a lot less, and it's easy cleanup too, because here, I'll show you. It's got a tile right here. Tile pops out, can scrape the glue right off. Perfect. Love this. I've even dropped it by accident a couple times, and it's perfectly fine. All right, here we go. Get that off. All right, going around there. Is the series finale of Blue Bloods on tonight? I think it is. I think my mom will be watching that. I'm actually going to go start watching that series from the beginning, because I think I'm going to watch a couple episodes here and there. But I want to watch from the beginning. Because Donnie Wahlberg. Yeah. He actually lives up in West Chicago, not far from here. Here we go. All right. This is the last mesh ruffle that we're putting on the outside ring. So I'm gathering, I'm scraping. Not quite nails on a chalkboard sound, but still. I should do like another wreath making ASMR video with all the different sounds. The sounds of wreath making. You know the sound of wreath making that I hear the most often? Ah! That's the sound you make when you glue yourself to your project with hot glue. Yeah, yeah. At least once a time. I even got those little silicone grips that go over your fingertips to try to protect you. But then I can't feel what I'm working with, so that didn't really work very well, because I ended up making a bigger mess than if I had just done it with my fingers. So I guess it's just an occupational hazard I must have to live with. All right, here we go. Awesome, here we go. Twisting this up. I'm also keeping an eye on the weather, because we're supposed to get some severe weather, but I don't know exactly when it's coming in. I haven't checked the forecast lately, but I don't have a generator, so somehow if the power goes out, my phone will keep going, but the lights won't. I think we're okay, though. All right, so now we're done with the outside layer. That's what the outside layer looks like. Hello! And this is how skinny it is. All right? Now we're going to go on the inside ring. We're going to do the same thing, same length of everything else. And we're going to go in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'll try to go faster. I know it's not the exciting part. People like to see when you make the bow and you put the florals on and whatnot, but can't get there until I do this. All right. Now, sometimes you got to kind of hunt for where your pipe cleaners are, which, you know, you'll find them. It just might take an extra second or two. It's there. You may not see it. You got to kind of spend some time looking for it, but it's there. It's kind of like the G-spot, or so I've been told. I don't know. Sorry. Look, I'm TMI. You get what you get. All right, here we go. Making sure that this is nice and flattened out in a pancake shape. Grabbing this again. All right. Sorry, I keep trying to make sure you got enough room here. You know what? Let me put this on the floor. Let's give us some more room here. Oh, all right. Yeah, now we've got it. There we go. All right. Here we go. Folding it. Let's fold it in half. Make our crease. And then I like to bend it down. Open this up. Put it in. Put it in there. Twist in. A little haircut. And then I just tuck it right behind there. I'm not wrapping it around anything. I'm just pushing it right behind there. No one's going to see it, and it's going to stay. And it'll be just fine. No one's going to know. All right. Now, on these ribbon tails, too, you could choose to put it this way, right? If you wanted to, you could do it with, like, the two close and then the outside. I, however, like to, just to spread out the color, I like to go like that, all right? And as you do this, we're going to have to go back around when we're done. They kind of want to go back to how they were, but you got to keep pulling them out and fluffing them out until they learn their place. Which, according to that one guy from the NFL who gave that commencement speech, makes it sound like our place is in the kitchen. Yeah. Tell us more, guy. Ugh. Okay, I'm not getting political. I'm not getting political. I just did not like that guy's speech at all. Very condescending. All right, here we go. But I like the Chiefs. I lived in Kansas City for a couple years. It was a nice city. My family wasn't there, though, so that's why we came back. But very nice city. But that was like in 1997 to 2000. I was there, so for 3 years. My son was born in Shawnee Mission, Kansas, which is where Paul Rudd is from. So, yay. All right. Putting this in here. Now, it's getting a little fluffier now, trying to get it in there just because, you know, it's got the mesh underneath it, so that's why I'm working it. I'm making sure that we're going layering over. There we go. Now, this mesh has actually been really nice. I haven't noticed a lot of, there's not a lot of strays, no stray hairs or anything like that, but I will pluck them. I will trim them as I go. I think I'm thinking of my chin hairs. Am I the only one that has a little mirror and tweezers next to her bed and uses her iPhone flashlight at night in bed to try to pluck these things out? Because if you don't have PCOS, you may not know what I'm talking about. But let me tell you. I got a beard, man. I got a beard. I hate it. Aging is no fun. But yeah, that's what I do now at night. I post my reels. I post all that stuff to social media. And then I pluck my chin hairs. And then I play my little matching game on my phone until I feel sleepy. Which ends up being about 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Here we go. Sorry. Now, I bet because I said that, I'm going to start getting more of those ads and stuff for that little laser thing that you see on TikTok with people, like, doing that thing and zapping their chin hairs with that light thing, which I thought about it, but I don't know. With my luck, I'd probably blind myself. All right, here we go. Pancake style. Yep. So pancake style was coined by... Oops, hold on a second. I dropped stuff. It's a style of thinner wreath that was coined by, I think it was coined by Sincerely Creative Mom, so Coach Melissa with DecoExchange, and she's who I learned this from. But you want to basically make all these mesh pieces look like a round circle when they're on here, so it's like a pancake. The whole point then is that you end up with something super, super thin like this that you can put in a storm door, because like here in Chicago, my part of the country, the big fluffy wreaths are great, but so many people have the tiny little narrow gap that's like about 4 inches, if that, that people like to have the thin wreaths because it fits in there, and it's also a little bit more protected by the glass, so that's why it's a popular style. And I know she lives up in Michigan, and I know it's popular there as well. So that's why. And then I'll show you right now when I put this next one on there, I'll show you how to make it look like a pancake. Okay, so I'm just ruffling this right up the center. This was curl side down, which is important, curl side down. If you do curl side up, it's going to add volume. Here we're trying to take it away. So now that I've scrunched it up and it looks like a little bow tie, right? You can see it kind of goes into a circle shape. So when I put it in here in the wreath, I'm going to put it right inside the pipe cleaners. I just separated them out and then I put it right in there and I twist it in. But it's still a little bit fluffy. If you take the ends and you like overlap the ends over each other, pull that out, then it's flatter and this round shape looks like a pancake. And that's why she calls it a pancake wreath. And I make a lot of these. These tend to sell really well online for me, as well as I have a boutique space at Painted Tree in Naperville. Now there are Painted Tree boutiques all across the country. They're going like nationwide. They're really expanding a lot. But we rent booth space at Painted Tree, and then they're there. You shop it like a regular store. You put it stuff into your carts from different vendors, and they ring it up the front. So you pay one time. It's always manned. It's like a craft store. It's a craft show going on all the time. And people put, a lot of time and effort into creating these booths that are beautiful and fantastic. And it's a really nice shopping experience. Some of them have classes. I did a wreath class once at mine, and I'm going to do another one. But it's a great place to go and shop gifts for people, because it's also, if they might buy in bulk from somewhere. So, I mean, I've seen people selling candy, homemade paintings, clothing, home decor items, obviously, baby clothes, like just tons of different things. And they also have gift cards too. So plug for that. Sorry. I'm always shilling, Where is Goreville? I'm in Plainfield, Illinois, so I'm kind of about 40 miles, kind of like southwest of Chicago. Is that like central or southern Illinois? I spent 6 years in Champaign. Went there as a student and then stayed there while my first husband was getting his master's degree. Love Champaign. Fantastic city. Here we go. Though the taxes in Illinois are getting a little cray-cray, but I'm not moving. This is the house my hubby and I created together, and while he may have moved onward, upward, heavenly, all my memories of him are here. All the kids' memories of him are here, so. And I've just fixed up pretty much a lot of the stuff in this house, and I know, I've replaced stuff, and so I'm basically I'm gonna die in this house. I mean, my goal is to actually die in this house, but you never know. I just made my kids promise, if I pull an Elvis and you come and you find me and I'm dead on the shitter, pull my pants up before you call 911. That's the only thing I've ever made them promise. Yeah. But I also don't think I could move, because where else could I get this much space for all my craft stuff? Because I'm going to do this until my dying breath too. So, and it has spread all throughout the house. It's everywhere. But that's okay. It's my house and I get to have fun with it. So that's why my garage is a warehouse. Southern Illinois, Lake Egypt. Okay, awesome. You know what? I think I remember seeing that. Is it kind of like on the way, like if I were to drive to St. Louis, but that's kind of more like southwestern. Because I've driven to St. Louis a couple times and they had Crafters Convention down there. That was always fun. This year, however, I am going to Mel and Tammy's Halloween event that is going to be in July up in Michigan. I am so excited. And then next year in July, I get to go to Wreath Makers Live 2025. I live for that. Like, the first 5 months of the year are so boring. And then summer starts to hit. And every July seems like it's insane. It's insane for me. But I'm so excited to go to Mel and Tammy's event. It's going to be cool. because I just put all my Halloween crafting stuff out. I haven't made anything Halloween yet, but I got it all out, ready to go. I just did a duetted my friend Lindsay with Tarnation Creations, duetted her video with, she did like the Hunger Games whistle about time to put away all your other stuff and clean up the foliage because it's time for fall, Halloween, and Christmas stuff. And I was like, yep, it is. Our favorite crafting time of the year. But that's why I'm trying to get this kind of summerish one done. This is really my last summer wreath. It's just been on my list to make this one for a very long time. And I've had the stuff, and it's been staring at me, and I just haven't made it. So, fine, will you get off my back now? I've made you. No, I love you. Only good thoughts. Only good thoughts, pretty wreath. Okay. Last two coming up, and then we'll do the sign. I will show you how I attach the sign, and then we get to do the bow and the florals. So it's coming together. Now we get to start doing the fun stuff. All right, here we go. This is number 11 of the ruffle. I really like this mesh too. I wish I found somewhere I could get more of this. I'm really liking it. All right, here we go. Putting it in here. Bringing it up, twisting, doing a little twisty. All right, overlapping to make the pancake shape. I mean, it kind of almost wants to overlap on its own, but sometimes it needs just a little help. All right. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is the last one. I think I cut. Did I cut one too many pieces of mesh? Hold on. Did I? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the last one. I cut too many. Oh, I'm a dork. I'm a dork. I was like, there's no way I cut 11 ribbons on both. No, I'm just an idiot. I told you guys I don't do well with numbers. That includes counting. All right, here we go. Folding it over, getting my crease. Here we go. All right. This one pretty quick. All right. This one pretty quick. I hope she's done with that horror movie soon because I don't want to go back in there. Not horror, but like, she likes jump scare stuff. I don't like jump scare stuff. I get enough jump scares every time I open my credit card bill. That is enough for me. Thank you very much. I don't need any more. Snip. Here we go. Crafty Nanny, thanks for joining. How's it going tonight? On this, a holiday weekend, the official kickoff to summer. All right, I'm going to stand up now. Oh, I can't feel my butt. Oh, all right, here we go. This, for right now, is our wreath, okay? This is where we're at. This is how thin it is. Nice and thin. So now we have, these are going to be the florals we'll put on in a little bit. The next thing I want to do is put on my sign. So let's talk placement first. So I find that if I put the sign on the bottom and I put bows on the top, sometimes it can get lost. But then there's, oh, well, putting it on the top and the bows on the bottom. I think that's actually how I'm going to do this. So let me tell you what I'm changing how I do things. I used to put one set of these up here at 12 o'clock, right? And then I would go like this. But then sometimes it would flop outward. So then the other option I have is to turn it a little bit and then put it on there like this. But then I end up having to kind of put my bow, squeeze it in there. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to go like that for this one because this is a pretty thick ribbon and these are not floppy. These are pretty secure. So I'm going to put it here what I call the 10 o'clock and the 2 o'clock positions. Now the sign comes with a lovely rope on the back, but that's mainly just to kind of hang it. I do not use this. So what I do, I'll show you the magic, is, where'd it go? All right. I use a staple gun, and I use, where'd I put the pipe cleaners? Oh, hold on, they're down here. And then I use the pipe cleaners. However, please note, I'm going to staple through this because these I think are like 5/16 staples. They're going to go right through. I have to build up the back of this sign. So first I'm going to take off the rope. But I take the tubes that the mesh come in. I save my 10-inch mesh tubes. And then I just cut strips of cardboard out of those things because it's a nice, but it's a thinner cardboard. And I take 2 squares and I just put that, and then I staple right onto that. And I've never had one fall out. So I'm taking my pipe cleaner. I'm going to put it, and I'm centering this right on. This, well, let me double check. Do I have to center it? Yeah, I'm going to center it. It looks fine that way. I'm going to center it right here. Oh, get my price tag off. Hold on, I'm mini purling this situation. Let me get the price tag off. There we go. All right, I'm going to put these right on here. Then I'm going to get out my trusty staple gun. I'm putting that right on top. Some people sometimes put it in between the cardboard or underneath it, but then I can't really know for sure if I hit it right, so I like to put it on the top. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. All right, and I'm going to do that on the other side over here, matching the same width and height from the edges of the sign. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I feel so powerful. Now, there's a link to my Amazon store in my link tree. I have this linked. This is a very nice lightweight Fiskars. This is perfect for crafting because I obviously don't have a lot of muscle and I'm very weak. But this is a very, very awesome staple gun to use. So I like my Fiskars. Alrighty. So now let's put this sign on. All right. So I already have my spots here, right here and here, where it came in with the pipe cleaner. I'm going to feed these pipe cleaners right over those spots. I mean, a path has already been laid. Why recreate the wheel or reinvent the wheel? I'm going to put it right over those spots. Then I don't have to fight my way through the mesh. You know, it's already got that space carved out. I'm just going to follow it down. All right. Pull it on over. And for right now, I'm gonna twist it lightly because I want to make sure that it's centered properly. So I'll go back and adjust it once I get the other side in. So side 1, get in there, baby. Side 2, come on, come on. I think I can, I think I can, I think you're stuck, I think you're stuck. I shouldn't jiggle too much. I wasn't planning to go live, so I apologize that I look terrible. This is not one of my better shirts to wear for a live. But as long as I don't bend over and the twins stay where they're supposed to be, I think we're good. Okay. Make sure that looks. All right. I'm going to tighten this and twist it. All right. So I'm going to tighten this one over here, but I've got, you can see these are the 2 ends. I'm just going to twist them like I did before. Now, I'm not going to twist and cut off too short. I'm going to twist these pretty much just to the end of one so that they're level, they're even. I'm just going to wrap this around the frame and then just kind of like tuck it back underneath and poke it in. And there we go. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Twisting, snipping. Oh. All right. And then just kind of wrap it around the frame. And there we go. And now our sign is on. There's the sign. So now, you know what this means? It's bow time. Oh yeah. My favorite time. I'm making a bow. All right, let me fix this a little bit. I like to just make sure that everything's learning to lay where it's supposed to go. Okay. I really only need to cover down here. So I'm going to make one bow, but I'm going to make sure that it's got tails that come out to cover these, okay? So it's going to be a wider bow, but it's still, again, going to be thinner, okay? So I'm going to keep this off to the side. I'm going to get, oops, dun, 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 the Easy Bows Design Pro. This is my favorite bow maker. I cannot make a bow by hand. I mean, like, you know, if someone were like threatening me, I guess I could, but it wouldn't look that great. These fingers don't work too good. So I have to use a bow maker, and there's no shame in that game, guys. No shame. If you can't make a hand bow, you know, I posted other videos of different ways to make a bow, and there were some people that were like, no, you have, you know, I posted other videos of different ways to make a bow, and there were some people that were like, no, you have to make a bottom layer, okay? Now, I've got about, okay, let me see, from ring to ring, we're looking at, it's about 6 inches that they're apart on here, so I need to have at least a 6-inch tail. Now, so I could do a bow that's kind of more rounded, or I could do a bow that has tails that kind of come down. I don't think I want to do a bow that has tails that come down. I don't think I want to do a bow that has tails that come down. I think I want to do more of a rounded style. So what I'm going to do is, okay, I've got, this one is I'm going to hit it just past 6 inches, just a little, we'll do like 6.5, okay? That's the tail. I'm going to pinch and twist. That goes right down here on the wreath. Here, you know what? Sorry, let me do a better pinch and twist. There we go, okay? There we go, 6.5. So I got pretty side is over here, icky side over here. Well, we can't leave it like that. Oh, the ribbons for the tails were cut at 14 inches. Because I didn't have 1/4-inch staples. That particular one, I think it says, I don't think it supports 1/4-inch staples. So, I mean, I absolutely could, but then also sometimes it's not enough of a grab into the wood for me. So I just add the cardboard stuff on the back, and it's worked okay, but I might try that with some smaller staples. That's a good point. Uh-oh. Okay, guys. Now here is this is called a splice. When you get some ribbon sometimes and it comes off the roll, they try to match the pattern up, but they basically kind of glue them over each other. Now this one's not particularly bad, so I think I'm going to be able to leave it because it's not on the outside end of a loop, and it's not going to be on the outside end. It's going to be, let me show you where it is. It's almost actually just a little bit off center for when I make a 6-inch loop. So it's going to be tucked in here, so they're not going to notice. So I can leave that splice. But sometimes if that does happen, you can take your loop and pinch it and flip it the other way. And then you still wouldn't see it. It would just be on the back. So that is the only unfair thing sometimes about working with some bows, is that, yeah, well, you know, you can't tell where the splice is going to come until it's too late. And then there it is. All right, so I did that loop to 6 inches. I did that other loop to 6 inches. Now I'm cutting it off at 7, but I'm going to cut off about a 1/2 inch when I dovetail it, so it's going to end up being a 6.5-inch tail. There we go. All right. And there we go. All right. And no, yeah, there we go. And no, yeah, there we go. So I want to show you guys kind of how, with the width of what it looks like for right now, as it's kind of going like that. So this tail and this loop are going to be covering that right there. All right. Now you'll notice though, I'm not fluffing out these loops, okay? I'm not making them super big because I want these to lay flat. Okay, the whole goal is to try to have a flat bow. So I'm not squishing it down. You don't want to sandwich it and make a line, but it just does not need to fluff out. So now, yeah, your hands have stopped working. Yeah. Busy mama. Yeah, exactly. I know. it hurts, you know, carpal tunnel, and it's not everybody can do it. So no shame in the bow maker game, baby. Plus, like, I pee a lot, so if I suddenly have to go to the bathroom really bad, it hits me very quickly. I can walk away from this and leave it and come back in a week and it's still there, you know. All right, so now with making a bow with directional ribbon, and this is directional because you see the trucks, they can only go one way. We don't want them to be looking like this because that means they've had too much to drink. They should not have been driving, and they're a menace to society. So we want to keep it this way. So we're going to have to do some fancy footwork here. So I'm going to start with this tail angled down, down, when you're facing me. If you were behind me, it'd make more sense. So this tail, the one above it was 6.5. This tail is going to hit half. This tail is going to hit, I think, at like 6, okay? And I'm going to twist this loop. And I'm going to put this one in here. This loop, so that was a 6-inch loop. This loop is going to be a 5-inch loop, okay? I'm going to make it a little bit longer, and here's why. Just a scooch longer because I have to twist this one, okay? But I'm going to do that later. Right now, I'm looking at the back side. Coming back around. Going to make a nice 5-inch loop there. It hits at 5. Cut this off a little bit longer. And dovetail. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to take this loop and we're going to twist it. Hold on, passengers. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Now you're facing the right way. And that's why you always wear your seatbelt. All right. Actually, here, he's going to go down and that's going to go up. All right. So let me pick this up and show you. Let me get these off so they don't fall. I'll show you what it looks like now. And then we are going to put a third layer on. This is not a ribbon that was elsewhere in the wreath. It's just like an added extra little, ooh, pretty pattern. You could always have put a third 1/2-inch ribbon as a tail in there. I've done that before. It does make it more full with the ribbons. You could totally do that. I just chose not to because it didn't have a lot of blue in here, just on the peace sign and the flower, so I didn't want to overdo the blue. But this right now is what the bow looks like. And everything is facing up. So they're good. Now we're going to open this up. Yeah, see it says $1.90. I got this for 95 cents at the Craig Bachman warehouse sale like a couple years ago. That's why I love that sale. I look like I'm going insane every time I go there because I buy a lot, but I've used a lot of it. And again, wreath kits are gonna be coming, and I'm gonna start with the Halloween ones. I've got Halloween, some fall, and then lots of Christmas. Okay, so this ribbon tail is gonna go in here. Okay, and this is coming out at, this is hitting at 5 inches for the tail. So I'm going to pinch and twist, okay? And we're going to have the icky side on the opposite side. I'm going to bring this loop around. And this loop is going to be at 4 inches, okay? And that's pinched and twist. Bring this back over and double check, and that is 4 inches. Here we go. This will come out a little bit. Now, I could have always ended up twisting this one more time and making a little center loop in there. However, I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to put something else in the center. I'm going to do what I call a sweet center bow. I'm just going to dovetail that. Okay. So now my bow is done. Okay. And I will play with the different layers of what falls where in a bit. But I'm going to get my white pipe cleaner. I'm going to pick it up. Now, I pick up from the bottom, but also push down from the top at the same time. It's like a BLT sandwich. You want to lose any of your, you don't want to lose your tomato. You don't want your bacon flying out the back, right? You got to keep it nice and tight. And then squish it against your chest because that's why you got them. All right, twist it twice. All right, this is our bow. Now, I'm not going to super fluff. I'm just going to kind of play with where the different loops are in position to each other. We don't want anything to overlap it. You see how everything is getting a chance the kind of shine here. This is hard to do with one hand. I will tell you that. This is not easy. All right. I'm going to put this in the wreath, and then we will talk florals. Let me scoot this over. Hey, little luxuries. How's it going? Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. And it's a holiday Friday. It's a good Friday. All right. So now I am going to, first of all, make sure I'm putting it directionally the right way. I've done that before. I've put them upside down. And I'm going to go right over that pipe cleaner that's already there. That's at the 6 o'clock position. So I'm feeding that right through. Come on, baby. Come on. All right. Feeding it sometimes through the top layer is a little bit more difficult. You got some layers to get through here. Sometimes it needs a little help. All right. Just guiding it through each of the layers. Most of the time it should go straight down, but sometimes on the inside one, it just ends up hitting too many things and you got to kind of give it a little hand. Come on. Get in my belly. Sorry. All right, here we go. All right. And again, I'm just gonna flip it over, twist this, twist. I'm gonna twist it all the way up. Twisty, twisty, twisty. Come on, baby. Let's do the twist. Jute. That's about as much dancing as I can do right now. All right. Bend that up and over so it doesn't snag anything. Cool. All right. Now let's play with where some of these things are. There, I like that better. Pink, green, which means then I have to have pink, green, green. Okay, and then this will kind of go a little off center. Okay. So this is where it's at so far. No florals yet. And that's as thick as it is. Nice and skinny. All right. So before I talked about doing a sweet center. So I have my glue gun over here at the ready. I am going to take one of these blooms off of here and put it right in the center. Now, the shape of this actually is pretty close to this. So I think I'm going to go with this one right here. I cut it down just a little bit. So I got a little bit of a stem. And all I'm going to do is just add a little bit of glue on the stem. And a little bit around the base. Okay? And just ever so gently. Ever so gently. Come on, baby. Perfect. That is so cute. That is so cute. So that's in the bow. But I like the idea of playing off some more of the florals, so I'm going to put some more of these florals in here. I'm back. Thanks, TikTok, for kicking me off. Again, TikTok, do we have a problem? I think we have a problem. Stop it. I was trying to figure out how I was going to get the florals into this wreath, because this is a pancake wreath. So I think I'm going to kind of play around with a couple different ways to do it. I mean, if this were just like a big fluffy mesh wreath, I could put it in there and you wouldn't really see it too much. But okay. Here we go. I don't need a lot of glue, just enough to kind of get it in there. There we go. I didn't want it to be underneath the bow or the ribbons, right? I also want to make sure that the florals on top and greenery is in back. Okay, so this is how This is how the first one turned out, and it's just going to be little tiny touches all around, not all over the place, but just little tiny touches. So we got that little tiny touch. Go around again. Okay, and I'm dry fitting it. That's what I call it. I'm doing a dry fit before I try to put it in there, just to make sure I like where it's going. And how it's going to lay before I actually put it in. There we go. Okay, so that'll work. So now I'm going to get my glue on it. And there it goes. And now I can wrap my... And there it goes. And now I can wrap my 3. I can put that under there. All right, that'll work. Little glue. It's funny, TikTok always kicks me off right at the end of something. Like, I'm just coming up to the end, and then it just like, bro, why you gotta do me like that, man? TikTok, dude, what up? Stop. People watch me this whole time, and then they get kicked off right before the end to see the reveal. Like, come on, that's not cool. Last time I said it kicked me off for being inactive. I'm like, dude, I have been making a wreath for an hour and 45 minutes. Do I look inactive to you? But apparently I did, because I wasn't showing my face. So this time I show my face, and it don't like my face. Okay, fine. All right, 2 more pieces. Let's see where we go. We have one here. That didn't have the orange on it, though. Huh. You know what? Hold on just a second, because this doesn't have the same kind of blooms. I want that kind of bloom. So let me go grab my other bush. Grabbing the other bush. Oh, this is not exactly the same. It's kind of close. Okay. Here we go. Got my other bush. Here we go. Alrighty, and this bush came from, this is Ashland, so this was Michael's, and originally, oh, I don't see a price on, originally this was $19.99. I would not pay that, no, so I'm sure it had to be on sale, somewhere, somehow, some way. Alright, that's the one thing that I wish I could do and find better is, I'm stealing from there, is getting a better deal on like wholesale florals. So I have to start looking into that. All right, put a little glue. Come on, baby girl. Get in there. All righty. And I'm gonna pull these ribbon tails out. Okay, I only need one more. And where's she coming from? That's a little, oh, here we go, here we go. I found her. With the leaves. All right, right here. Perfect. And she's gonna go right here is the last one. Okay, the last piece. Get in there. I'm trying to poke it through the mesh a little bit so it at least catches some of that for the glue. There it goes. All right. It's caught. There we go. Let me do one final a little bit of fluffing. sure our, there we go. Oh, that's so, so cute. All right. All right. Move this around, make sure it's looking good. All right, here we go. I might have to do a little fluff, kind of play with some of the ribbons, but here we go. This is our finished wreath. This is a 1960s vintage Volkswagen bus inspired wreath. It is about 22 inches wide and probably, is it 4? Let me double check. Let me see. 4 inches wide or 4 inches deep. So this will fit between a storm door. Everything is going to be flat. This bow is going to be flat when the door closes. Everything is designed to make this as narrow as possible. All right. Oh, as I drop it. I'm going to have this listed at sweetradecor.com probably within the next day. So you can find that there. And I believe this is probably going to be listed for this one because it's got Florals. This will be $64.99 and then $9.99 shipping. So you'll be able to find that at sweetradecor.com. I also have tons of other stuff out there. And everything in my Etsy shop right now is 15% off too. So that's $64.99 I just quoted you. Take 15% off of that. Good deal. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great weekend and stay safe out there. And have a cheeseburger for me, will you? Thanks. Good night.